PID set. So we just want to paste that dot PID set. Now it's going to dwell until PID 1_1, which is now enabled, has reached 120 PSIG. So the next step, after it's reached 120 PSIG, we want to show an instruction. And that instruction would be apply leak text solution. So we just want to copy that name, paste it, dot selected equals true. And then was leakage observed? So we want to copy that name, paste it, dot selected, and here we want to have a true and a false. So comma, show false. We want that as true. Equals true. So we want to selected equals true. Now the next step is to determine if the user selected true here. If he clicked yes when this instruction was prompted, then we want to make sure that the test fails, actually, because leakage was observed. So we want to go if dot passed equals true, then we want to create an error. And actually, before that, we want to go here and was leakage observed. We want to take that result object and we want to say, we want to assign that dot value was leakage observed equals, and then whatever that instruction dot passed. So was leakage observed, and it's going to be true if the user clicked yes here. So if that instruction is true, then the result object is going to be assigned true, or false if it's false. One thing that we didn't do is add an error. So we want to add an error, and we want to call that leaky connector. How about connector leakage? And we'll say a leak was detected in the connector. How about observed? Observed within the connector. On the inlet side. And then for the cause remedy, we'll add 1, and we'll say the cause, the connector was not tightened. And then just tighten and retest. So we want to copy this error name and put it into our test sequence. So task leakage test and paste it right here. Dot selected equals true. So now we have an error in there. Save it and build it. and then we'll run it.
Individual tasks. Leak test. Enter username. J-O, and enter serial number 1, 2, 3. Apply leak tech solution.
And yes.
Was leakage observed?
So was leakage observed? And if we click yes,
task failed.
Then it says that there's connector leakage.
Connector lead catch. Ready. Individual leak test. Enter. Apply leak tech solution. Was leakage observed?
We'll say no.
Task passed.
And as you can see, the was leakage observed? False. And false is good in this case.
Ready.
The next step is to change the order. We want to have the leak test performed first. So all you do is go into the tree view, and under the task leak test, just right click and say move up. So we're going to move that up in order. And move up again. Now if you go to the front page or the home page, the leak test appears first. One thing that we need to do is all our tasks so far have included an instruction called install part. We actually could shift that instruction to the session information so that it's only done one time, and we don't have to manually insert it every time that we add a new test or task. So we're going to do that. We're going to add an instruction within the session information instead. And that's done very simply by, well, what we're going to do is we're going to open up an existing install part, and we'll just copy the note, and we're going to add that to, so what we're going to say, install part to the session information, and then we're going to double click on the note property, and add it there. Next, the confirmation. Go back to the tree view and click yes to continue. And for the HTML file, we're going to select install part. So we could actually delete it from these other tasks. In the outlet flow, we can delete it from here. And what we're going to do is copy that name, and we're going to insert it into the session information right at the bottom of it to make sure that it shows that part. To make sure it shows that instruction to install the part, and we're going to go and delete it from the outlet flow test and outlet pressure test. So it'll show anyway, but we don't have to manually insert it into every test or task. So now what we want to do is build the macro, and run it.
Enter serial number. Install part.
So as you can see, it still installs the part even though it was called from the session information task.
Apply leak tech solution. Was leakage observed? Task failed.
The next step is to reset the database. After you've added the additional task, the leak test, and reordered it, you want to let the software program rewrite the database with the additional task. And then what you can do is you can copy the old database very easily into the new one. So I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to go into, the project was breathing regulator part 8, and then the serial number is 0001, and you can see databases. So you double click on that, and then you have flight regulator. So you want to rename that to just put a underscore OLD,
Individual
and then we'll
tasks.
run the test.
Perform all tasks.
And as you can see, we'll even go into the database. It's completely empty
Ready.
now. So we'll run the
Enter
test.
username JO and enter serial number 1, 2, 3. Install part. Apply leak text. Was leakage observed? All tasks passed.
So we'll reset
Ready.
program.
Enter
Run
serial
it
number.
again.
Install part. Apply leak tech solution. Was leakage observed?
So we'll fail this
Task
time.
failed. Ready.
Reset it and go to the
Database.
database and search all sessions.
Search all sessions.
So we had the first one that passed and the second one that failed. And we'll open that up and make sure everything is okay. And as you can see, this one was leakage observed, false. So it passed, and it ran through all the tests. And then the one that failed should be true, and it is.
Ready.
So in summary, we've added to an existing application, we've added a new test called leak test, and we have reordered it so that it is the first one to be run. And from the tree view, we have added a parameter and a result object collection that's directly under the task. So the use array equals false. So we're not creating a task array. We're not creating a primary and a secondary array, and then putting a parameter and result object collection under that. And then the third thing that we did is we took the instruction install part and we inserted it into the session information subroutine, so that we don't have to create install part within every task. The leak task, leak test task, outlet pressure test task, and outlet flow test task. And then we deleted those instructions from those tasks.